Hello again. Today I'd like to show you how I did the background, this bit of background here for this card. I spotted it on YouTube and I thought to myself, I've got to do that. I've got the perfect thing to use for that. It's some double-sided sheet that I don't like. It's too thick for putting behind sentiments. I've had it for ages. Go to look for it and I realised I'd given it away to a craft shop because I didn't think I could use it. But for this technique, I can. It uses card, double-sided sheet, gilding flakes, and glitter. Oh, and Versamark. I'll show you what I did. To start off with, I had a piece of black card, and I've put the piece of double-sided sheet on one side. This is good stuff, actually. This is Stick It double-sided sheet, which I really like. But obviously, it's going to work for this technique. So what I'm going to do is use this stencil to make this design, and I'll show you what to do. So I've got the double-sided sheet on the front of this piece of card. So now I am going to take the backing off to expose the sticky bit. Right. There we go. Throw that in the bin. Now I'm going to put this stencil on the top of that, but I don't want it to stick so I can't get it off. So what I'm going to do is put some Versamark on the stencil so that it acts kind of like a barrier. So make sure you cover all of it, because if you have some that hasn't got Versamark on it, it'll probably pull the surface of the card off. So all covered with Versamark. Right. Put the top back on there. Now, Versamark side down, obviously, because that's the side that we don't want to stick. And arrange your stencil over your piece of black card. There we go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to sprinkle some of my gilding flakes onto the card as well. Don't know what that is. Oh, it's a little bit of the design. Let's try and stick it down. That's better. Some of the branches. They're really, really very fine. This one is called Frosted Leaves from Crafty Notions Limited, which is a British company. Okay, so I'm going to put some of these onto the surface of the, and just pat them down a little bit. And then, I don't know what you call this, a scoochie or I don't know what, but it kind of smooths out the gilding flakes and burnishes them somewhat. So I'm just going to move these around, make sure that all of the card is covered. They're so pretty. This is very fine. This, I don't know where it came from, this one. I've had it for ages. I had a whole bunch with, I've got another one with trees on that's not quite so detailed as this one. Which in a way may have been better than this, I'm not sure, because you're scooching this, you know, wiping with this thing. If there are any tiny little frail sort of looking ones like that one there, it's going to maybe damage them a little bit. A lot of people have asked me about this glass mat that I work on. I use it for absolutely everything. I use it as a palette. I use it to just to work on all the time, and it's by X Cut. It's got measurements on, so if you want to try and line things up, it's useful for that. I wouldn't use anything else other than a glass mat. I started off with a smaller one, a square one. I thought that's 31 centimetres square, but this one, it goes up to 42 centimetres. I don't know what that is in inches anymore. I could work it out, I suspect. Now, I think the sticky stuff is now all covered. Let's just try if that is there. I think it is one of the colours. It's got a few pretty little colours inside. Now, the next thing to do, I was going to do this on a paper, but I've actually not made much mess, so it's a bit of luck, isn't it, really? I'm going to take this off. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now, this might be a little sticky. You've had the Versamark. If just wiping it with the baby wipe doesn't make it nice and clean, then you could just give it a squirt with something like this. Stick away. Anytime you get a sticky residue on anything, maybe your cutting pads, if you use double-sided tape on when you're doing die cuts, anything, a little of this and it gets rid of the sticky things. It'll clog your scissors that you use for sticky things. So this is really good stuff. Okay, now we're all very, very well at the moment, but the black part is still sticky. So in order to cover that, I'm going to use some fine black glitter. And this actually, when I thought it was just plain black, but when I come to look at it, it's got some rainbowy sort of shades in it, which will kind of go with the Gilding Flakes. There we go. Let's jiggle this down. Bit more over this side over here. Just pop this back in the pot a moment. Okay. Now, to try and just make sure it's all covered, you can just rub it over with your finger, and if you feel any sticky bits, you know that you need to add a little bit more glitter. This is beautifully fine. As this is an intricate design, it's really nice that it's a very fine glitter. And I can even do a little bit of this with it. Just look, that shines it up. It just brings out the highlights of the Gilding Flakes. There we are. Isn't that lovely? Put the top back on this. So then you can use that as a background. I've cut it up here. I've got a smaller piece because I've got two pieces out, and I thought I would put that one somehow like that, maybe with maybe a sentiment going sideways. I don't know. But when I did the Merry Christmas, and I don't know I can't remember the make of this one. What I did was I put some more double-sided sheet onto some card and cut it out this way up so that when I peeled it off, I could sprinkle the glitter on to make it twinkle like the trees twinkle. And I just stuck that down as ever with my little Zig glue pen. So there we are. Hope you'll have a go. I think it's brilliant. I'm going to see what other stencils I can use and what other colour Gilding Flakes I've got to make something pretty. So, thanks so much for watching.